Hey ladies, Mommy is going to read you the first chapter of your Mermaid tale book. Let me find it again. Okay. Sunny, sandy Malibu has always been known for its pristine beaches, soaring canyons, and of course, amazing surface. And on the high school surf scene, no one was better than Merlia Summers. At the latest competition, Merlia was feeling confident. As she paddled out into the water, she turned to glance back at the beach. Merlia could see her best friends, Fallon and Hadley, cheering and waving in the sunshine. Other surfers bobbed in the water nearby, waiting for the perfect wave, but Merlia spotted it first. It was going to be a monster wave, and it was all hers. "Whoa!" the competition announcer cried back on the beach. "Will Merlia Summers really score that wave?" Just then, the videophone watch on her wrist beeped, and Fallon's face appeared on the little screen. "What do you think? Will she?" she asked, grinning. A wide smile spread across Merlia's face. "She will." With that, Merlia clicked off her phone and paddled toward the wave, angling to get into the perfect position. And when a familiar song rang out over the announcer speakers, she couldn't help grinning. It was the song Fallon and Hadley always played for her. She was going to win the competition with this wave. She just knew it. Like the song title said, she was queen of the waves. She's the queen of the waves. Check it out, she's spinning the board around. She's the queen of the waves. No one's gonna take away her crown. Her Majesty is dropping in, surfs up, bow down. She's the queen of the waves. Okay, I know, bad, but I'll add the video to the playlist. And you can find all of them together, I promise, ladies. As the massive wave reached her, Merlia took the deep breath. She stood on her board and skillfully dominated the wave. Merlia Summers dropped in and carves it up. The announcer cried in disbelief. The grin on Merlia's face widened as the crowd roared. Merlia was never happier. Then, when she was riding a giant wave, but her happiness didn't last long, the announcer spoke up again. "Whoa! Merlia Summers' hair is turning pink." "What?" Here, let me... There you go. You should be able to see it better. What? Merlia reached up and pulled a piece of her hair forward. It was bright pink. She glanced toward the beach. She could see the whole crowd staring and pointing. Even Fallon and Hadley were looking stunned. "Check it out," the announcer went on. "What's up with Merlia Summers?" Merlia couldn't take it much longer. She shifted her weight on one foot. The board tilted and she dove into the water. She was swallowed up by the giant wave. It looked like a major wipeout. Merlia was okay, though. She popped above the water, briefly waved to the crowd. She didn't want them to worry, but she didn't want to face anyone until she'd figure out what was happening. She swam further under the water. There, she pulled her hair in front of her eyes again. It was still streaked with bright, shocking pink. Merlia shook her head and kept swimming away from the crowd. But before she could get very far, she felt something nudge her arm. A dolphin. But this wasn't just any dolphin. She was sparkly pink, and she was smiling. "Merlia!" See, ladies? What do you think? Do you like her? Maria looked around frantically. They were alone. Could the dolphin really have just said her name? Yes. I'm talking to you. Your friends are worried about you. Come on. Come. Hold on. Dolphin turned and Maria cautiously held her fin in her hand. Before she could change her mind, the dolphin took off. Water flew by them on all sides. Maria couldn't help grinning. She spent her whole life in the water, but she'd never been for a swim like this. After a few moments, the dolphin spoke again. You do realize you're breathing underwater. Shocked, Maria gripped the dolphin's fin tightly with one hand. The other hand flew to her chest. Sure enough, she was breathing normally and they were fully underwater. What was happening to her? Before she could ask again, the dolphin said, We'll talk later. She nodded upwards. Guess who was waiting for her? Now that's what you call best friends. Where Fallon and Hadley's She nodded upward, where Fallon and Hadley's familiar surfboards bobbled in the surface. Maria let go of the dolphin's fin, popped up just next to her friend. Maria, you're okay. Hadley cried in relief. She didn't look twice at Maria's crazy hair. It didn't faze her at all. Fallon, on the other hand, couldn't stop staring at Maria. Her eyes were wide. Gnarly hair, dude. It's weird. Cool weird. We found your surfboard and not you, so we were worried. What happened out there? Hadley asked. Maria sighed, steadying herself on her surfboard. I don't know, but it gets weirder. She took a deep breath. Her friends were never going to believe this. When I was underwater, it was crazy, but I was breathing, and a dolphin spoke to me. Hadley listened intently. Wow, there's something very deep and intense going on here, she said seriously. Fallon rolled her eyes in disbelief. Yes, like a deep, intense concussion. I'm fine, Maria insisted. Thanks so much for bringing my board back. I really just want to go home. I'll call you later, okay? She paddled away. Luckily, Maria made it home without running into anyone who'd been at the surfing competition. Then she'd plopped down on her bed thinking. Maria sat up as her grandfather Brake came into the room. He smiled kindly at her. Heard you ate it today. You all right? Yeah, I'm good, Grandpa, Maria assured him. She paused for a moment, then pulled back her hood, revealing her streaked pink hair. Hey, you dyed your hair? No, I didn't. Maria shook her head, and her pink hair settled around her shoulders. This just happened in the middle of the meet. Then I dove underwater, and I could breathe. She hesitated for a second. And then a dolphin spoke to me. She lowered her eyes. What's happening to me? Am I going crazy? Brake sighed, put an arm around her. No, you're not going crazy. You just didn't know. Maria looked up quickly. No, what? I told you how you first came to me, right? Sure, it was after the accident when my parents died. It wasn't both your parents, Brake said. He paused, deep in thought. Your dad was always making up stories, ever since he was a kid. So when he told me he'd fallen in love and married a mermaid, I thought it was just another whopper. See? Isn't that a beautiful story? Falling in love with a mermaid? I doubt that'll happen to any of us, though. Maria's eyebrows shot up and she didn't interrupt. But a year after the incident, I was on the beach when your mom came to visit me, Brake went on. It was all real. Your mother was a beautiful mermaid named Calissa. She explained that you looked human, which made it dangerous for you to stay with her. She asked me to look after you. Maria's head was spinning. This couldn't be real. Of course, I said yes, Brake added. Before she left you with me, your mother gave you your shell necklace. said it would always keep you safe. She studied Merlia carefully. Merlia couldn't believe it. She wouldn't. You really expect me to believe that my mother's a mermaid? Merlia climbed to her feet. Before Brake could say anything else, she had stormed out of the room. Okay, that's the end of chapter 1. Next, you get this wonderful, amazing video from your Aunt Sonia reading you chapter 2. And it is one of the best gifts she could ever have given us. I promise, ladies. Mwah! Mommy loves you, princesses.